Hey, happy Saturday, everybody.
How is everybody doing?
Maggie said thumbs up. Yay! Thank you for being here, Alina, Anna, Olymp, Rosanna, Maggie, and Zyra. Did I say Zyra right, Elizabeth?
Zyra, yes, Zyra.
Zyra, welcome. And Dr. Hugo is coming back. Here he comes. Hello, Dr. Hugo. Thank you for joining us.
March Madness. Current eligible UA voters.
He's like, doctor. He knows he likes it.
That's right. You work hard, you earn it. You get that title.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Thanks for being here.
Lena said hello, everyone. She typed in the chat. Awesome.
Oh,
Hey,
there's
Philip. How are you, Philip?
Good. How about you?
Awesome. Good to meet you in semi
Yeah.
personal
Close to
status.
Dead, I guess. Well,
I've seen you in the emails, Philip. Thank you for all your support.
oh yeah. You're welcome. Glad I could help.
Representing including the Beavers of Oregon State, UCLA.
Only thing
So
is,
in this stand, we see USC with a nice win over Kansas.
my background is not going to show though. It's just going to be
Okay.
that.
Los que pesan 90 kilos, imagínate.
Okay.
We can just share. You can just share that if you want.
Okay. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, it's going to be easier.
Oregon State looking pretty good at the ball. Here is Blue.
Someone's watching. Is it football?
I don't know.
Ay, me dejaste.
Why doesn't it turn? Oh, I gotta stop sharing. That's what it is.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I do.
Dog is ready to blow. My God.
Why doesn't it show on mine? Like that. I've gone and messed up my background, everybody. It's okay. Don't mind the mess back here.
All right. Is this the one? Did I click on the right one?
No, that was just for us to start. Are we gonna just wait for a couple more minutes? Just one more
Yeah,
minute?
let more people come in, but I wanted to find the slides that you had earlier. Are they here?
Let me put it on there for
Okay.
you. It's on my drive.
Stephanie just came into the area. Stephanie, welcome into the building. We're getting ready. We're just letting everybody come on in. Say hello.
Let me see if I can just go out and come back in and then see if it changes my background.
Oh yeah, it'll probably work then.
Okay.
Oh. Do you guys have any questions while we're getting everything situated? We are recording at this point, so if you want to show your face and say hi and wave to the camera, feel free. If you have questions, go ahead and ask before we get everything rolling.
I would like to say thank you to all showing up. I really appreciate your support and sharing these special moments with us. Thank you, Rosanna, and thank you, Philip.
You're welcome.
You're so welcome.
No, y sabes que cualquier falta que busquen ellos es buena. Todo lo que sea cerca del área grande.
Mhm.
No hubo ningún golpe, pero bueno. Mira, fíjate bien, mira. Ahí,
Are
mira.
you with your parents?
No, le dio con el hombro.
No, pues se volteó.
Pues le sacó la
So cute.
Ouch.
Oh, here comes Monse.
I've known Maggie since high school.
What?
Long time.
She's
Yeah.
one of your day one fans.
Yeah,
Day one.
yes, yes.
Hi, Monse.
Hi guys.
Oh, look
Hello.
at her picture.
That's a beautiful picture, Monse.
Hello,
Thank you.
welcome.
Love it.
How are you gonna begin?
Welcome. Did we figure out who was the Olymp, or did they leave?
I think they left. Yeah, I don't see them in here.
Okay. I uploaded her. It's ready to go on the file, so we can start, I think.
Beautiful. Let me go right over here and click refresh. And there it is. Whoop, there it is.
Don't go to trash though. Whoop, there it is. Present.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Go ahead and mute yourself. You can keep your video on, but just turn your sound off so there's no interference in the back. All right, Miss Liz, you want to go over the norms? Or you want me to go over the norms?
Well, very simple. My name is Elizabeth Moreno Cuevas, and very simple for so everybody can be heard and we can respect each other's voices. If you want to speak on anything, just you know, like we always do, we are educators after all. Just raise your hand based on the reaction, so we know who to call, and so we can give each person their own opportunity to say something. And if you like something, it's also awesome for you to interact. You can also put a heart, like awesome or whatever. If you don't want to speak, that's fine. Just put the reactions, because we would love it. And also, if you want to say something on the chat, that is also, you know, welcome as well. And also, please try to, if it's too loud in the background, try to keep it, you know, muted until you want to say something. That we would greatly appreciate that. We had the opportunity to meet and greet, right? Like it's, I believe Stephanie's here, Dolores, Latasha, and myself. We are the collaborators / authors of the book, and we just wanted to get to meet each other, meet one another, and we just want to appreciate and thank all of you for your time. We know it's precious, but we thank you for always supporting us and being here for our book launch today. Do you want to add anything else, ladies?
Just thank you guys for being here. I'm excited.
Yes. Awesome. We're going to start introducing our authors. And as you know, our book is called New Ways of Learning in 2020, Corona Struck. And if you were able to see our beautiful book cover, if you haven't seen it, you see it in every single slide on this, but on the backdrop. And then Dolores has it in her hands. But you'll see that there's a picture of 6 little kids. And think about, what do you see in that picture? But right now, we'll come back to that picture later. But right now, I want Stephanie to be the first one to start and introduce herself and say how she got started with the project. Stephanie?
Okay, kind of faded in and out. Hello, my name is Stephanie Thomas. I am a collaborator / author in the book New Ways of Learning in 2020, Corona Struck. It was a great experience, and working and just being able to read, because I have an ebook. I don't have the physical copy yet, but I have the ebook. But the book is wonderful. Dolores's part is wonderful. Everyone's part is wonderful. And I'm just so glad to have been a part of this collaboration.
Thank you, Stephanie. How is it called? Like, what do they say? Yeah, there we go. Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers. All right. Thank you so much. Dolores, let me say mine first. I got started on this project in April of last year, and when a lot of things were still up in the air, where we're in the middle of the pandemic, and I'm one of the original ones of this collaboration, because we started off with other individuals, but I think what became of the book is amazing, and I just feel that this project has enabled me to know that I want to continue writing, and this project has enabled me to believe in myself, knowing that I can be a writer. I know I've always been a writer, but I never thought I could be an author, a published author, and this enabled me to be that. And it's very emotional. I'm very emo about it, because I know that with this, I am leaving a legacy for my family, whether it maybe not monetary right now, but at least it's published. My name is out there and people will read. And like I say in my part, like, you need to be able to leave a legacy. If you don't say your story will die, and I don't want my story to die. So I wanted to put it on paper, and that this is the first project of my story. So now, Dolores.
Good evening, everyone. This project has been my saving grace. With some of the experiences during this coronavirus, this gave me something positive to look forward to every week. Working with a great group of people. I started out working with this group, and I only maybe one person in the group. So to get to know different people and to work with different people with different personalities, and to come together to put something this inspiring together has been very uplifting, and I look forward to future projects. Thank you all for being a part of this and supporting this, because this is something that I think you can pass on as well, because all of us have been touched by this coronavirus. And in spite of the virus and everything else that we've experienced, we can still look to something positive and keep us going. We don't have to dwell on this virus. We can still keep living, keep moving, making a difference in the lives of others. Thank you.
Latasha.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Latasha Jimerson, also known as LT, the Buddy Teacher. I am one of the collaborators on this book project. I'm also president of Teachers Word LLC, which is the company that is behind this project, which we formed about a year ago. So I'm very excited and proud of this group. The mission and the vision of our company is to elevate and honor teachers. It's to put teachers back in their rightful place of being the pillars of society. We are the teachers who raise generations. We mold and shape the minds of the future leaders of not just America, but the world. And so this project is very special for us because it was created by teachers who care about their students. We care about our world and we want to make things better. So thank you so much for being a part of this. For me, this has been a very special project because I'm a self-published author 8 times over. This is actually my 7th project. This is the most special one because this is me connecting with other powerhouse writers. This is me being able to collaborate. It's one thing to do projects on your own. It's like a 10x experience when you get to work with other people who are at your same level, and you can't find that kind of synergy. It doesn't happen, all the time. So when it does happen, I'm grateful and appreciative for everybody that's in here. And there are some authors that are not on this Zoom meeting today. And it's because we're all super busy. We're all doing our own things. So the fact that we came together and accomplished this goal is major. And so I just want to say thank you for being here. And I'm so excited.
Awesome. Thank you all for coming. So we're going to continue with saying, I think Latasha started it off with Shelby. We just want to name some of our collaborators who are not here. We had Shelby Bedingfield. We also had Jada Russell. And Stephanie, of course, is here. And we also have Xavier. Xavier and Cheryl Watson. And of course, myself and Dolores and Latasha. Like she said, it was a collaboration that came about organically, I believe, because in the reality of the whole pandemic, this project was like the coronavirus, unpredictable. We knew what we wanted to do. We just didn't know if it was going to happen. But then I think it's so appropriate, like just the whole project. I think it was so organic, like the collaborators that came towards the end, like we had the book mostly done, and then but the collaborators who came after had such an amazing story, and it just meshed so together. I wholeheartedly believe in the project, and I think our stories fit to our audience, because like Latasha said, the why we wrote this book and we started, this is the first thing she said to me. She's like, you want to write a book? And I'm like, who doesn't? But I don't think we can. And she's like, yeah, we can't. I didn't know Latasha, first of all. She and I are co-workers. That was the first year she was working at Canada. And then Corona struck, and we really didn't get to see each other much because of the short amount of time. And then she comes up to me. She came up to me twice. That's it. And then she's like, you want to write a book? And I'm like, girl, what you thinking? And I didn't know anything of it, right? So then she's like, yeah, we can do this. And you want to write about, we were thinking about the business of, of high school. Like, why is high school important? Because our kids, we see that they don't take it as serious, or they don't understand that high school is important in many aspects, but they are not told why it's important. They're just told, just do it, right? And I feel that this book has a sort of motivation, and it has stories of when we went through that, so they understand why it's important. And my focus was on English, and we had specific focuses. And for me, mine was very generic compared to everybody's, because I was more into like, why is English so important? And then the rest spoke on, the how coronavirus affected them. And of course, I feel that the part that I did was fitting to the whole book, because it talked about stories, and that's what we're here for, to speak on our stories and to make our stories be heard. And for many of us, like Dolores said, this was very therapeutic. This was our counseling session. This was our meditation. This was our what can I do in these terrible negative times to make it positive for people? You know, like, you know, maybe Dolores will speak on it later, but people who read this book will say it's a history book. It's a history book. And in essence, it will turn into a history book of some sort if you see it like that, because just like, you know, Shakespeare wrote his plays, didn't think, oh, it's going to go down in history. He wrote them because he loved them. He wanted to showcase, you know, his art. And now they're in every single culture, right? Everybody knows about it. So I feel that our origins for this book was to motivate students, and it's very, very teenage friendly language, to where, I mean, it's a very short book. You can read it very quickly, and I feel at the end you'll be motivated to, you know, want more. Like, okay, give me more. And that's why we as a team are hoping to also bring in the parent voice, you know, the teenage voice more, and then also in terms of, this is the teacher's experience. And after coronavirus, I think it's going to be a pre and a post coronavirus way of living and way of educating ourselves. So I feel it's something, many times our voices in terms of educators and as students, more as students, are not heard. And we wanted this book, not just this book, but this whole purpose of us that we have, to be about what's most important, and that's our students. Anything to add, ladies?
Yes, I'd like to elaborate on that a little bit. My section is on Dolores Talks Determination. A lot of teenagers, they're in between being a teenager and an adult. And I could speak from my own personal experience. Your parents don't really understand you. They're frustrated with you. They're annoyed with you because you think you know everything. You know, you got a little bit of knowledge under your belt, and you think that they're old people that you're just telling them. So therefore, you know, you kind of pushed it on the back burner a little bit. And I was, you know, I felt that way myself. But what I would like to let students know that there are people that care. There are people that will listen to you. You just have to seek those people out. You have to be able to accept constructive criticism, be able to listen. That's a big part of teenagers. They really don't want to listen because they have all the answers. But no, you don't have all the answers. When you keep hitting these brick walls and you're wondering why, it took me a couple of brick walls to hit, but then I finally realized, oh, you know what? They're trying to tell me something. Maybe I better listen. So that's what I mean in my section. You know, I talk determination. Seek out those teachers, neighbors, coaches, sports. If you're into sports, you know, seek out your team leader, boys and girls clubs, therapists, big brother, big sister. There's a lot of people out there that you can reach out to, because a lot of times you can't talk to your parents, and parents don't need to get offended because your kids are not going to tell you everything. And as long as these people are guiding them in the right direction, let them go. And that's what my portion talks about. And it talks about all the people that were a part of my life that helped and shape and mold me into the person that I am today. And I thank God for every last one of them. Thank you. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Awesome.
Miss Cheryl, it's your turn. You came in at the right time.
Yeah, so this is great. So my portions were about the processing of what was going on when suddenly we went from being able to do and go wherever, whenever, to not being able to go anywhere except inside your own house or apartment or just around your neighborhood, possibly. And during this crisis, which is the first plague, global plague in modern history, I had to write down what I was feeling, what I was seeing, and still try to encourage kids in the process. And then in my final essay, I had to talk about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how Thurgood Marshall influenced her fight for women's rights. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is known as the Thurgood Marshall for women's rights. Thurgood Marshall was known as one of the civil rights pioneers, with his Supreme Court cases that ended school segregation. But I had to combine the two of them because they're such titans in their own right. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg had passed away at the time that I said, I've got to write this. I have to write this about her. So that explains my portion of it. And hopefully with a few of the suggestions I gave, obviously it wasn't comprehensive, but just a few suggestions I gave would help parents and students and teachers learn how to process difficult emotions and difficult circumstances. So that's why I wrote my portions.
I just wanted to say to you, Cheryl, your portion was very, very inspiring. I don't know if you realized it or not, but one of the librarians at the school where I work, she said that this is going down in history. You explained it from the beginning up until now, what people were experiencing and feeling. And she said that future generations, they were not experiencing this, but you explained it so thoroughly that they can really understand what was going on whenever anyone talks about the coronavirus. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for that. That means a lot to me. That means a lot.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cheryl. We're very happy that you could join us. I know we've had technical difficulty, but we're happy you're here. And to go on to our next, we've been hammering, our sales before our book launch, because technically we were hoping to do our book launch before the book, came out, but the whole process, it took so long. So we started it in April, like we said, and the book was supposed to publish a certain date, but thankfully, surprisingly, it published around my birthday. So that was an amazing birthday present for me. And we just went with it, ran with it. I didn't even wait. I'm like, hey, everybody, the book is out. And we're so thankful for all of you who bought the book, who've read the book. So at this point, we want to give some of you who have read it, either a portion of it or the whole thing. We want to allow you to, and we would appreciate it if you wouldn't mind sharing your thoughts on it, because just like we want students to be able to take constructive criticism, we're open to anything because we are authors, we're learners. Like this is about being positive. This is about being, lifelong learners in a way, but we also value all of your input. So we would like if, I know Monse has read the book because she has told me about it. Maggie, thankfully, was one of my reviewers, and also Dr. Hugo, I don't know if he's here. They were able to read my portion, and I don't know if you want to speak on it in terms of, what you think about it. And also, Monse, you said some words to me, so I don't know if you want to repeat the same things you said earlier to me.
Yeah, I think everything like that you guys said, it's true. This book and it's going to history, and I'm glad that women had the initiative to do a project like this, because we need more representation, especially that the diversity that you guys represent. It's great We need it for our times, we need it for our community, and we need it for the future. And yes, I'm Latina, like Elizabeth, and I really connected with her story because I identify with that story. I went through that story, and I think like every of you guys portions and essays, someone is gonna say, this is my story, or this is what I went through. And I think it's very impactful that you don't feel alone, that you have someone to identify with, and that you can use it as a role model of success, of overcoming any obstacles that we are going through. So it was very powerful. I really, really enjoyed reading the book and reading you guys' experiences, and I really, really recommend it. And I actually bought an extra, like a couple more, because I want to give it to my to my friends who are teachers as well, because I think it's gonna help them.
Thank you. Awesome. And it's just to speak on what she just said, like my story, like pretty much like that story that I wrote on in this book. I don't know if I was specific, because we did so many editings. I know what I wrote originally, and I'm like, let me remember what's on the book. But for me, that story is literally that's the reason why I am who I am, like why I'm a teacher, why I do what I do. So in essence, this story is me. And like, I wanted to be a teacher, so kids didn't have to go through that story. So kids didn't have to go through what I went through. And if I can, help in any way, be that part of, I'm so happy that you were able to connect, because that was our purpose. We wanted more representation from people of color, because we always, like, as an English teacher, we always say, oh, we're just reading white old people or white old men, books, whatever. And we have to put more representation in there, more, Asian, more Middle Eastern, just different parts, right? And I feel, just like we were talking earlier, I said, look at the book. We were very specific on what our cover was going to be, because we didn't want it to be like, at the beginning, we're just going to put it out there, we did not want all white kids to be on the cover. And that's what they gave us. Inadvertently, that's what we were given. But we were like, no, that's not who we are. So if you look at it, there's only one guy in the collaboration, and he's extremely young. So I'm so happy for him, because he has so much, time to motivate other people. But the rest of us are, women of color, and we do have Stephanie Edmonds. She is white, but she is such a motivating factor in everything as well. But we wanted that representation, even if it's like, a picture, it's still, that says a lot. And I'm so happy to hear that people connect with, I hear people that like Latasha's story, they like Dolores' story, because they identify with the parent side. And so I just feel that I love that. I'm just going to be selfish in here. I'm the only Latina in the book, which makes me proud. It makes me so proud. Hell yeah. Like, I'm just going to say it, because I hope to,
yes, girl.
Yeah, I hope people understand. It doesn't matter if you do it in Spanish, if you do it in English, if you do it in Spanglish, whatever. But I feel that we need, even though we have video, and they're like, why don't you do video or not? Video deletes. Paper and pencil and all that stays. The basics will always be there. The basics, just like the values, just like that, like I said earlier, we have my quote that I have on the back of the book. It says, never allow anybody to put words in your mouth that are contrary to your values and beliefs. And I said it most specifically to kids because, you know, that's what we do. We, in order to be popular, we go against what we believe or what we've been taught. But I think that I could say in my lifetime, I've been that, you know, little ugly duckling that wasn't liked because I wasn't into every popular stuff. But it's okay, because if I'm the first person to do this and somebody else like Monse, maybe, you know, she's an entrepreneur, she's a businesswoman, she can write a book about that and people will see that, you know. And I feel that in our communities, we lack the literature to back up our stories. And I feel that with us, it might be a small ripple, but I think it's enough to, you know, make it huge. And one of the quotes that I put on the backdrop is by Oprah, you know, and it's talking about the key to realizing, I can't even see that. Can you go to the first one, Jimerson?
Yeah.
I can't read my backdrop.
First slide.
The first slide, yeah.
I saw it too. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, the key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but on significance. And then even the small steps and little victories along your path will take on greater meaning. So for me, like at the beginning when I got the book and we did all this thing, I didn't like, for people, when you know who values you and who doesn't, right? You understand that. But you know that you're going to make an impact on those people, even though right now they don't realize it. But I'll take the small victories. Like, you know, I don't mean to cry, but I'm a crier. But this book, me making this book, brought this. And like I told the rest of them, I wish they were here, but and my sisters tried to, you know, put them to bed. But my niece and nephew, my sister told them, she showed them the book and they saw my name, right? They know I'm a teacher. And then she's like, she's like, yeah, she wrote this book. She helped write this book. She wrote a book. And they're like, yeah. It's like, so you mean to tell me that she's a teacher and she's an author? And just to hear those words, and then for him to say, oh, Nina, that's how they call me, now you need to write a chapter book. I can help you. For me to have my nephew tell me these things and my niece say, I'm so proud of you. That's it. Everything that we've gone through to get this book done, everything that we've done, that's my like victory, because I know it's gonna be able to, you know, it's a significance to me and it's significance to this kid that maybe, you know, he just thought very, you know, his dreams were this, but now they've become greater because now he knows that he is capable of whatever he can, because now I've inspired him, and not because of me, but because of the step that, you know, my decision. It's not about me, but it's more towards them. And for me, that's a small victory, but such a great meaning, that I can change a whole generation, you know, that I wish somebody would have done for me, but at least now I can do for others. So I didn't mean to cry, but you know, I'm a crier. How it is.
It's okay, Elizabeth. I said I love working with this girl. I told Latasha that when I first started working with you and I read your story, I said she's going to touch some lives in her nationality. I knew it. Because, you know, in the Hispanic and the African American, we need more role models. We see them on TV, but they need to be tangible. They need to be close by. They need to know, hey, my aunt, my grandmother, she wrote a book. Wow. You know, they're authors. I could do anything that I want to do that I put my mind to. And we can.
Yep. We sure can.
Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Yes.
That's my affirmation all day.
Yes.
Cesar Chavez, March 31st birthday. This is important.
It is important. And I did, I think it was the wrong one, but one of I created two backgrounds, but one of them had Dolores Huerta on it. And I just want to share this. It says, we must use our lives to make the world a better place to live, not just to acquire things. That is what we are put on this earth for. So we, in essence, wanted to create this book to make this world a better place so kids don't feel like, you know, as a teacher now with coronavirus, I know there's going to be a lot of, you know, mental illness or depression and all that. But I feel that we also have to teach our kids grit. We have to teach them how to, you know, survive in the midst of a pandemic. Cheryl, did you want to say something?
I agree. Too often, you know, people say, some of the younger generation, everything is like, oh, just put it on Snapchat, Instagram it, put it on blast, you know, do this, do that. And it just seems there's just so much instantaneous decisions that are made with lifelong consequences. And with this virus, we've learned that we have got to slow down a little bit. And we've got to carefully consider, you know, our actions, our processes, and our, you know, overall decisions about, you know, things that we do, you know, and we have to plan for stuff. And there are things that are not going to be resolved through a tweet, an Instagram, Facebook post, or what have you, or a vlog. We really have to, you know, think differently about life now. We can't be careless. And of course, I know this is it sounds like such a cliche, but well, time is precious, of course, but life is it can be fleeting. And hopefully this book will help some kids who are not making great decisions to really just kind of think about, okay, maybe I can do this differently. I have to say that I've enjoyed working with all of these women of color. And I love the fact that we all do have strong personalities, so that we were able to express our truths and our experiences, and it was accepted. So that's another good point. Yeah. So I'm agreeing with you, Liz.
Awesome.
Stephanie, we would like to hear a little bit more from you. You came in at the tail end of this. We asked you if you wanted to be a part of a book collaboration that had already been started, and you jumped right in. We'd like to hear a little bit more from you, and what inspired you to jump in, and how do you feel about the book collaboration?
What inspired me, basically, it was opportunity, and opportunity can be random. And that's one of the big things about my part in the book is it's kind of like random reason. And it reminds me of how the kids are. Their children are very random. They have the most random thoughts that come to their head. It's in the music that they listen to, the music where it's just very distracted. I feel like my piece is a distraction piece. So I didn't highlight much on the coronavirus because sometimes we do need a distraction from it. So in my section, it's like a random voice of reason, where I bring up so many different random ideas and random thoughts that may cross a teenager's mind. And then I provide like a somewhat of a solution to it, or at least, hey, stop for a minute and go think about it, a pause moment for them. So, and what inspired me the most was just being asked, like I said, that opportunity. I'm like, you know what? This needs to be talked about. Just opportunity, being able to just jump, being able to be random, being able to kind of take a breath of fresh air when you're in the middle of a pandemic. Sometimes you need a little mini distraction. And that's kind of what my piece is to me, is kind of that mini distraction where I'm a random voice of reason, very random, where I may talk about, hey, has your mom ever done this? And then I talk about something totally different in the next sentence. It's like, hey, what we were just talking about this. Now we're talking about this. But that's how children are. That's how teenagers' brains are. So that was my inspiration for the piece. The opportunity was random to me. I jumped on it and I say, you know what? I want to present that same randomness and that same breath of fresh air, because this was I loved meeting up with the group of people. It gave me hope, of course, inspiration, something to lean forward, look forward to, and to be a part of history, of course. And I'm just a random piece of history for the children. And so that's kind of how I am as an educator. I'm full of random pieces of information. I teach ELA and then I have a random piece. Hey, did you guys know? And they're like, Miss Thomas, we were just, and I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. So that's pretty much, so it's a reflection of my personality. It's a reflection of how opportunity is just random. It's a reflection of needing a break sometimes, of distraction, and it's a reflection of how children's brains can be just very random, and sometimes they just need a voice of random reason.
Awesome.
Love that. One more, I have one more thing and then we can move on, because I know it's already 10 minutes to the hour and we wanted to be out of here before the hour. So thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Who is this book for? I really want you guys to realize this is for the 12-year-old through the 19-year-old. This is the teenager that sometimes is forgotten because they're not too young to where we really have to watch them, but they're not old enough to where we can leave them to their own devices. So a lot of times the teenager in the house is in the room with the door closed, missing in action. We don't see them at the dinner table. We don't see them downstairs playing Legos because they don't want to be bothered. This book is for them because they're sitting in their room, listening to music, scrolling on their computer, but they actually would rather hear our voices without us nagging. They do want to hear, they want the guidance, they want the advice, because they're searching the internet for answers to life's biggest questions. What is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What came first, the chicken or the egg? We talk a little bit about that. Stephanie said the randomness. It's random, but it all comes together because these are little things floating around in the kids' minds. So when you get this book, thank you for getting multiple copies. Get it in the hands of the teenager who nobody can reach. Those are my favorites. Those are the ones that they always put in my classroom. The ones that nobody can get to them. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to be bothered with you. They're irritated with you. They're snappy with you. They're rebelling. Give that book to those kids. Give it to all of them, but especially those kids, because they're going to be like, during the pandemic, there were teachers sitting around thinking about me. Really? Because I saw a lot of things on Facebook and Instagram talking about the struggle of the parent, homeschooling. Oh my gosh, we're homeschooling. What am I going to do with these kids? So that was blasted everywhere. The teacher, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to do online school. Right? But I didn't see anywhere anybody talking about the teenager that was struggling with having to do their own work while they're babysitting their siblings. I didn't hear anything about that. Well, we got to do something for these teenagers that are having to fix dinner with barely any food in the cabinet. I didn't hear that conversation going on. What are we doing for these teenagers? Some of them are being abused. Some of them are abusers. Some of them are contemplating suicide right now. I didn't hear any of that discussion. So this book fills the gap. It's not the complete solution because we know our kids need a lot of services, but this book opens a conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had, and it's okay in a book because they can yell at the book or whatever they want to do. They want to rip the pages out of the book or whatever. It makes that conversation a little bit easier between the adult and the child. So this is the piece, the missing link between you and your child, between the teacher and that kid. This is the book that is going to be able to say, oh my gosh, we were thinking about you. We love you. This is how we want to guide you through this book, through this conversation. It's okay to talk to us. Come talk to us. We want to hear from you. So this book, it might be able to bring some kid out of their bedroom and say, you know what, Mom, I need to talk to you about something.
I was gonna say, Miss Jimerson, I don't think it's just for the teenager. I think it's beneficial to the parents as well, because a lot of us parents, when our kid get a certain age, we feel like they independent, they can do for themselves, they can fix their own self some food. But no, it doesn't stop there. They still need guidance. They still need someone to talk to. So reading that book will not only help the teenager and the young kids, it will help the parents as well. Come on, you got to refocus. I know you tired parents, and I know you burn out because I was there, but you still have a job to do. You're not done. You still need to give that kid some, check in with them. Yeah. And if you can't reach them, what I learned to do is maybe somebody else in your family can, or maybe someone at the church can, or maybe someone on their football team or at the Boys and Girls Club, maybe someone can. Because like I said earlier, a lot of times kids don't like to express how they feel to their parents because they don't want to hear your feedback. So, you know,
Real
this
talk.
can benefit the parents as well. Thank you.
Real talk. Woo!
Awesome. Well, like one thing that I love is that the book it just came out, and you know, we're so excited, and we hope that after being here with us, we're gonna be wrapping it up soon, but we hope that now that you were able to see, you know, it's not necessarily a party, it's more like a open forum to talk about our book, but for you all to understand what the book is about and what was our why, because the why is what pushed us forward. And it's a little bit of what's coming, because our brains are no longer, we're talking about the book now, but our brains are like elsewhere already. Like we're like running 100 miles an hour. So we're
Part two, we're thinking, you know, different language for parents, because in my district, the majority of the kids are, you know, have Spanish speaking parents who would benefit from something like this, because, you know, in the Hispanic community, they rarely talk to the kids about, you know, oh, I didn't know. Well, unless you as a teacher talk to the parent in their language, the kids are not going to tell their parent, hey, this is what's going on. You know better than anything that teenagers don't do that. So we have so many plans, and we hope that you continue to support our future projects. And we are a group that, well, I don't know if it was like a choice. I think I voluntold them, but we have a ritual that we have for all of our meetings
that I like to, because I practice with my students, I like to do a positive affirmation at the end. And Stephanie's like, I'm on it. Like, so it's just a positive affirmation to say, you know, si se puede, or like something super simple. But we would like for some of you who are here with us to partake in that. And I'm telling you right now before time runs out. So if you want to look for it or it just comes to your mind, any of you want to open up your mics and let us know, or put it on the chat, because I know, you know, the background may be too noisy, but we would appreciate, you know, a positive affirmation of this or of something that you liked about the actual book. I'm gonna give it to Latasha to continue before we finish.
Sí
Yay.
se puede. Sí se puede. That's my mantra all day long, because it is possible. It can be done. There's no excuse. We can do whatever we want to do as long as we have the right motivation, as long as we have the right circle around us. That's my affirmation. Sí se puede. And Coach Mack just came in the building. I think Coach Mack should say something real quick. Nicole Mack.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Saturday.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything for my favorite team. A little bit about myself, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, sure. I'd be delighted. Well, I'm a substitute teacher for the Allentown School District in Pennsylvania for 17 years. And I've also been a coach of the step team and dance team at the Deriv High School. Right now, I'm working on a nonprofit organization to feed and educate from state to state, urban and rural areas, the areas that don't really get much attention. We're trying to pay attention to them nowadays. And yeah, that's about it. And thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Did
we
you get
would
a
like
chance
to
to
know
read the
how
book?
you felt about the book.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to read the book, we were actually just wrapping up about our book project.
I'm sorry, at this point, I did not read it yet,
Okay.
but I did
We
purchase
love
it.
you. We love you.
I did. And I will definitely make time. As I told Miss Chalmers, I said, I will definitely make the time to do it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And
So
I think we need to talk about really quickly, if anyone wants to be involved in a future project, we're going to have some coming in the future. Elizabeth, do you want to tell them how to get access to helping out in the future?
yeah, we have created a Google form for you all to just some as a thank you. We would appreciate if you fill this out just so we can show a little appreciation to you with something in the mail, you know. So we would appreciate you filling this Google form out, and it pretty much has your name, generic stuff, but it's also a way for you to check, yes, I want to, you know, information for future projects. And if you wouldn't mind, it's an optional thing. At the end, just give us feedback on the book launch or anything else you want to add, you know, maybe possible suggestions for future things like the parent, you know, edition or things like that. We would greatly appreciate it. We thank you for always being there. Everyone that's here is here for a different individual or all of us together, because we are all authors and we are all, you know, awesome individuals. So we thank you for the constant and the constant the constant support that you give us, not only, you know, buying our books, but the motivation that you continue to do. And I love that you shared things. Like I appreciate Monse because she put it on Facebook. She's like, Elizabeth is an author, this and that, you know, people are motivating us individually. So I think from the bottom of all of our hearts, and I think I speak for all of the collaborators here, we appreciate you because we know the time is precious. We're all in different time zones, so we are, you know, stopping our lives for this. But we thank you for everything you do, and please continue to support us. If you wouldn't mind filling out the form just so we know who came to support us. And if you would like more information on our future projects, just write that down. And we again would like to say thank you so much for coming.
Yes, I'd like to give a special thank you to Philip. I harass him all the time at the library. He is the tech savvy guy. If he don't know, he don't stop until he finds out. And I really appreciate you for that, Philip. And I wanted to say thank you so much for your help. You're always willing to help and be supportive in any way you can. And I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could be a part of this. Good.
Yes, I am too. As a matter of fact, he's one of the ones that proofed our book before we put it out.
Oh, he had read
Yeah.
it already. Awesome. Cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Rosanna, for the great job, everyone. Appreciate it.
How are
Thank you
you
for
guys?
attending, Rosanna.
Sorry,
Zaida.
how are you folks promoting the book? Because I've been looking through it in Facebook and I haven't really found it. So if you know, like I do believe that social media is very powerful and it is very powerful with positive things as well. So just I just want to Elizabeth and everybody, I just want to volunteer myself in case you want any help in regard to social media promoting of the book. I'm here and congratulations. And what you said about, you know, that we had to stop our life to be here, that's not true. This is part of our lives. Okay, so it's just this just made my whole last 15 days. So congratulations, you guys are the best. And there's nothing more powerful than women working together. So you should be proud of yourselves. Thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate
Thank
you. And
you.
I will be talking to you. We just started, so that's why we've been, since we, so, you know, we work full time and we do so many things that because the book just came out, just barely, we are starting. We did a little bit here and there, but we're gonna, you know, hit it harder. So we would appreciate, I will take you up on that offer on helping me how to navigate through that. So I
Sure,
will
and we can get resources in other places, many resources out there.
Yay, so excited. See, I love how we're all helping each other. That's awesome. I'm super excited about
Welcome,
that.
Anna. We have Anna that just walked into the building. Welcome, Anna.
Dr.
Thank you.
Dr. Anna.
Dr. Anna.
Dr. Bryant. Dr. Bryant.
Dr. Bryant, do you want to say hello?
I don't know, she's driving.
Hi, Liz. Congratulations to the entire team. You guys have done an amazing project and an amazing collaboration. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to be able to share this resources with other educators. And hold on, I don't want to get disconnected again, but I'm going to have to put them.
She's probably driving and she's getting out of her car.
Okay, thank you for sharing. We don't want you to get in an accident, so that's fine. Thank
No,
you.
she's probably getting out of her car, and you know how it disconnects the Bluetooth?
Oh,
That's she's remember it was Dr. Hugo and Dr. Bryant. They don't like to say it.
oh,
Feel that you put a lot of work into your study, so you deserve to be called doctor.
yes, right.
Thank you, Liz. Liz will be a future doctor too. I just want to tell everyone that too. I want to share that.
Oh,
Hoping that soon she'll be joining a program and she'll be on her way to be a doctor. You need more
No
Latin,
pressure.
more women of color being doctors.
Absolutely.
No
And
pressure.
she's already published, so that's a step, a notch above already.
Thanks so much for coming, Anna. I appreciate you. And I can say Anna because she's my friend, but if she was my professor, I'd be doctor. But I've known Anna. She has been my professor, my boss, and my friend. So she knows me in all aspects of life. So,
That's great.
And I speak for me and my husband, we both love Liz. I mean, we just love this person and we're just so excited for her. Craig was just listening in the background, but just know that we are supportive and we just love love you very much, Liz. I'm proud, very, very proud of your accomplishment. And again, thank you all for having Liz in such a great collaboration that I know will impact many lives.
Thank you.
thanks, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Dr. Bryant.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant.
Chew, Jefferson.
Anyone else?
All right. Who is Kelvin Bell?
Kelvin is one of the authors that completed my self-publishing course last summer. And now he has published twice since July.
Awesome. Congratulations. I also need a lot of male representation, male of color.
Yeah, Kelvin's the first person to go through my entire course, finish, and get published.
Wow.
Done. Within 2 months.
2 months.
He's your
2
first,
months.
he's your first child.
He started in July. He finished at the end of September, in the middle of September.
Okay, thank you so much, Monse. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support and continue to support
Thank
us.
you.
Gracias. Have a good day. Oh, if FYI, she's really good at,
Okay.
investing too. So just throwing it out there.
Kelvin, did you want to talk for a second?
I will congratulate everyone. I am driving
Okay.
right now. I got the invite late, but I wanted to connect because support is support in any nature. And tell you ladies to continue doing what you're doing. You're an answer to someone's prayer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Elizabeth, who did you say was great at investing? Who was that again?
Oh, it was Monse.
Oh, okay. Do you have her email address?
I can give you we're gonna have the information, yeah, for them to do that. So yeah, I'll give it to you.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready. I'm really ready to start investing again, taking a few more risks. Yeah.
Awesome. But yes, we appreciate everybody being here. I mean, we don't all have to be with our cameras on, but I think we should take a picture of this moment
Yeah.
of vacation. I'm gonna count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can just,
Wait a second.
I'm not posting any of this, so don't even unless we can.
I'm posting.
Okay. She's posting.
Okay.
Okay. So yay, Alina. Woo.
Hey,
Come on, Coach Matt. Come on, turn your camera on. Let's see.
Yay.
Roseanne, we want to see that beautiful face and that new haircut.
It's on.
Sarah is in Mexico City.
Oh, wow. She's in Mexico.
What?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
she lives in Mexico.
Yeah, hi. I went to
Hi,
community college
Zara.
with Elizabeth.
She went to community college and then she went to Fullerton and then she went back to Mexico and she's a baller. She works, she's a businesswoman and she works for Facebook. She's awesome.
Oh my God.
Mireya is coming.
Oh, Mireya, she's my friend too. We know, man, Mireya is like also, I know her since elementary school.
This is a reunion.
Well, it's not a reunion necessarily because I like to stick around. I like to surround myself with strong women, and all of these women have impacted my life in one way or another. And we've kept in touch because we are not petty, but we support each other.
Yes.
Right.
That makes sense? So strong
That's
women.
very important.
It's strong women, or let me just say it, strong individuals support each other.
Exactly.
Exactly. I like that, Elizabeth. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? Mireya, you want to come out in the picture?
Come on, Roseanne, I can't see you.
Okay.
I know. I generally never have the camera on my laptops.
Anna, do you want to take a picture or you're good? I'm gonna count to 3. Ready? 1, 2. When I say 3, you all need to freeze. 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
I got 3 photos. That was good.
Yeah, how
Okay.
long are we freezing for?
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, she was still frozen. I'm sorry, I didn't say you're good. That's when I take a picture for my students, like they're like, "Are we done?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was done a long time ago. You're still frozen."
Shame on you, Elizabeth.
No, because see,
Elizabeth, that's funny.
when I say okay, 1, 2, 3, at the 3rd you just freeze for a minute. But I in my mind I think they'll get the fact that after the 3, for a minute, for a second, and you're done, right? But I forget to say I already took the picture, and then it just goes off.
Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Thanks for asking.
Well, thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. If you want to hang around and chat, that's cool.
Yes.
But everybody wait for the
Also-
camera because the recording's gonna go off right now.
Bye, camera. Bye, camera.
Thank you for
Bye,
joining
camera.
us for our
Bye.
See ya.